Make a Path presents Let's Talk. Welcome to Make a Path presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes, and today, let's talk the Walking Dead character, Dwight. Alright guys, today we're going to talk about Dwight. This all started because I made a joke about playing Dwight or auditioning for the role. I totally forget, actually. I slapped his scar on my face and put it in a Q&A. Now, clearly, AMC would never even entertain the idea. But anyway, so let's say it's all in fun. I did tell somebody on Twitter I would only push for a campaign for Ronnie Hayes for Dwight on The Walking Dead if I can hear those words come out of Robert Kirkman's mouth one day where he says, "Who the fuck is that?" That would be worth it. But back on topic, while I was going over this joke, it put an idea in my head about the character playing Dwight that I just want to share with you guys, and it's kind of something I'm starting to get my hopes on as far as something I want them to do with the character. Now, in the comic book, we are introduced to Dwight during a character death, much like Negan. Dwight comes a couple issues before Negan, but Dwight enters killing a character that's a fan favorite. From that moment on, it takes a few issues, I'd say about 5 or 6, and we see a look at the factory where the Saviors live. We see another character get what's called the iron, and then we see Dwight and this girl who we're assuming it was his ex-girl and the face. And so now through this character, we see Dwight's backstory. Do you see how that works? They showed us Dwight's backstory by showing us an identical process that Dwight went through, but they showed it through a new character. So we saw it, you know what I'm saying? That's how that works anyway. And that is why I think that scene is important in the comic, because it shows us what happened to Dwight and why his face is burnt off. Let's just say for shits, if Negan's not coming for season 8 or 9, it would have been so damn cool. Let's just say that our characters get to the Alexandria safe zone, and then in season 6, we see Michonne or Daryl or Carol or somebody from our group. Maybe Glenn on a supply run. Glenn's out on a supply run, and he runs into two characters, a man and a woman. Now, Glenn helps them out. Maybe the guy even helps Glenn too, and the man finds the woman. Maybe he was rescuing the woman, and we get this mini introduction to this man and woman where they are in love, obviously, and the man saves the woman's life, and then those characters go on their own for whatever reason. Let's say Glenn, or like I said, Michonne, or any one of our characters that we know, let's say they get split up with a herd or something, or in the escape they get saved, and we get this introduction with this man and woman in that little love story, but they go off and we never hear anything from them again. Then a full, 2 seasons later, if this happens in season 6, let's say season 8, we get a visual of the man now, and he's watching Abraham and Eugene walk around doing perimeter checks in Alexandria, and we see it's the same man from this camera angle. The camera's here and we see it's the same man, and we're like, holy shit, he's watching him. Maybe he's going to reunite, you know what I mean, whatever. And then the camera kind of pans and we see he has a crew with them. They're not looking very happy. Something's up. This might get bad. So then finally somebody says something and the character turns around, oh, shut up, whoop-de-whoop, and we see he has his face burnt now. So previously when we saw him with the girl, rescuing the girl in season 6, he didn't have no face burnt. And he was a little, maybe a little happy or whatever, a little up. Now we see him, he shushes a character, he has his face burnt, and the other bad guy is like, oh, sorry, Dwight. And then we get to know that it's Dwight. We saw Dwight momentarily, fine face, nice fine face. And then we see Dwight later on, a whole season later at the end of season 7 or 8, whenever. I'm not going to get into when they're bringing Negan because that's a fucking headache. But then we see Dwight later on, a season or 2 later, and now he's eyeing up the safe zone, and he attacks or sends a message, and then we'll see him later with Negan and everything. I think that is friggin' awesome. I love that idea. So basically I'm really hoping that we get an introduction to Dwight, and later on it gets revealed that that is the Dwight, and we still get that same backstory, the iron scene that shows us how Dwight got his scars. And they show the girl that Dwight was with. When we do a factory scene, they show the girl in the factory with Negan, saying something like, "I'm sorry, Dwight." And he's like, "Shut up, bitch," like he does in the comic. So it's like they had that love, and if you guys know in the comic, the girls go with Negan. That way they don't have to work or, have sex for food or whatever it is they do. And now Dwight is hardened by that, because love will do that. Love will do that. And, he hates the bitch, but he hates Negan more. But he can't leave because, he was out on his own before her. Maybe they were trying to escape then. And it got too rough, so they went back to Negan, and he got his face burnt. I love that idea. Alright, guys, leave your comments down below. What do you think of this little suggestion? How would you like to see Dwight in the TV show? And do you support Ronnie Hayes for Dwight on The Walking Dead? I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.
You want to see dedication?